Hey y'all, welcome back to Twin Oaks Farm Poultry on YouTube. Welcome back to Twin Oaks Family Farm in rural Southeast Ohio, USA. And I just wanted to give you a little bonus look-see Thirsty Thursday for the birds. Poultry farmer favorite, these Waters large flock easy fill drinkers. Says that they will handle up to 100 birds. Tell you the truth, we keep a water this size in our egg production pens of just like 30 birds, and find that a great size for our hen houses. This is not a hen house. These are not egg production birds. These are Cornish rock cross meat chickens that are 16 days old. In fact, as we pan the entire space, it's approximately 25 foot by 30 foot. You're looking at 432 Cornish rock cross meat chickens that will be raised to 41 days of age and taken to a USDA inspected processor. These birds are raised specifically to be processed into poultry, to make great meat, make great protein from a natural source and a real source of protein. So wanted to give you a look though at their pen. We're kind of calling it a grower pen now. When the birds are hatchlings and start out, we call it a brooder pen, but now they're a little bigger, kind of moving into the second stage of their growth actually. So they started out in the space kind of directly in front of me. We basically had them confined to this space, and probably I think around 10 days we allowed them to have the entire space. But if you kind of take a quick look, so over here in front of us now, we just have only the big capacity feeders and waters. Other than in that back corner, we've left a single gallon water. We'll zoom in a little bit. We've left a single gallon water, and you can tell they still like that. And it's raised about 4 inches probably. Oh, I now lost it totally. It's raised about 4 inches off the floor on some risers. But they still like those, but we want to give them these, okay? Because these hold about 6 gallons of water at a time. So in this half of the building, we've pretty much switched over to totally big feeders, big waters. When you look at this half of the building, we're still in the real small capacity feeders and waters. I call those baby feeders and waters. Now right here, this is a homemade feed tray, and this is a match to it, a homemade feed tray that we just made here. My husband came up with that idea. It works great, but you can see the drawback there. The birds are just laying in it. I mean, they get up inside of it. They're just laying in it. They end up manuring in it. Not a really big deal. We can clean that out, but it's just really not ideal, because what we really want is this. We really want the birds standing up when they eat, and we still need to elevate these trays on some risers up to about the height of the bird's back. But ideally, we have birds standing up to eat, standing up to drink. So when they can plop into the feeder like that and just sit in it, then that's not encouraging what we really want. But another thing I want you to notice about the feeders and waters. So like I said, over here where the pen is still set with the baby feeders, baby waters, look at how much floor space the waters and feeders themselves take up. And consider capacity. So there's 10 gallons of water over there, and those waters are taking up quite a bit of floor space, okay? Over here, there's 25 gallons of water, and the waters are taking up less floor space than the small ones, right? Okay, and so over here, we have the baby feeder trays. I don't have a quantity on that, but there's 8 of them filled up. Over here, I just have 4 that are filled, and I can tell you these hold 40 pounds, so we could hold about 160 pounds. I don't think that one, I don't think it holds quite as much. Maybe it holds like 25, but we could 40, 80, 120, another 25. So close to 150 pounds of feed can be held here. I'm certain there's not 150 pounds of feed over there. So so the reason, there's multiple reasons when we get birds out to like 2 weeks old. We want to be done with the baby feeders, done with the baby waters. We want to be over to the big feeders, over to the big waters for 2 really good reasons. First reason, pointed out, these take up less floor space relative to their capacity. And second reason is they just give you, the flock manager, so much more capacity for your birds for food and water. And then the third reason, which is really just like cumulative of those two reasons, is that this type of water, this type of feeder is so much more user-friendly for you, the flock manager. Much less time consuming to fill this. Literally, to fill this, all I got to do is fill up one of these buckets, come over here, remove the lid, dump that bucket in, observe that the water is filling the tray as it should, observe that the water is clean, put the lid back on, that's good to go. Not so with those. I got to take that somewhere. I got to pick up, like the baby water, I'd have to pick it up by hand, take it somewhere, like maybe to a doorway where I can dump what's in the tray out, hold the water upside down, unscrew the lid, take it over. You could hold it under running water. We tend to fill buckets up and take that holder and dip it down in, fill it that way, set it back in a spare tray, and then take its own tray and put it back on top of it. So, and then you got to carry it back over to where it goes, flip it the right way and set it down. And sometimes that water sloshing from being upside down to being right side up will actually knock that tray off. So then you end up with a big spilled mess. So those little ones, they do the job for when your chicks are hatchlings. But when your chicks are this size, they can still drink out of them, but that's going to be a lot more time consuming for you as a flock manager to deal with. If you got waters like this, woohoo, Thirsty Thursday all week long, the birds love it, and it's a lot more user friendly. So anyway, so just wanted to give you a bonus, show you, we put those waters in place, and we've got more of those waters coming, 5 more to be exact. We've also got, I think, 12 of the big feeders. So we're basically going to end up, I think when it's all here, we're going to end up with 5 rows of the big feeders, big waters, neatly across the pen. It's going to save us so much time filling them. So if you are raising Cornish rock cross meat chickens, even if you're only raising like 25 or 30, I would invest, if you're going to do the project multiple times, I'd go ahead and invest in some amount of these kinds of waters and some amount of these kinds of feeders. About 10 birds, a little older than this, like when you get out close to the end, about 10 of your Cornish rock cross meat chickens, 8 to 10 maybe, can fit around here, closer out to the end of production. So, you know, if you had 25 birds, you might only want 2 waters and 2 feeders, but I'd still have enough. You could probably make it with 1 each, but have enough that the birds have room to get around them. So at any rate, so I'm excited that we are getting switched over to these big feeders and waters. We weren't sure if we could budget for it, but it's working out. And as far as our operation, we direct market the poultry to clients in our area, and I feel like we have the best support network any small farm operation can have. We have awesome clients that really come through for us, really compliment the poultry that we produce, and we're just really lucky to have them. So thank you for joining us on Twin Oaks Farm Poultry on YouTube. Be encouraged if you want to produce some of your own meat. Meat chickens are a project that you could do. Look at that. That's just a nice sight to see. So shout out again to our friends in Beverly, Ohio at Beverly Feed and Equipment. That family has the mill there and farm supplies there, and they are a huge part of our operation in the sense of networking, in the sense of our being able to access chicks, supplies. They really are a big help to us. So we've worked with them to get these feeders and waters on order, and they're helping us get those here. So really grateful just to them being part of that network and part of our communication and securing supplies for our operation. They're the best. So if you're local to Southeast Ohio, Beverly Feed and Equipment in Beverly, Ohio, check them out.